Yo, yo. It's been ages since I made a video, and I'm in my new place, and I'm finding it really difficult to sort my life out, to do the things that need doing, to make the changes that need making. And I realized that one of the reasons that this is so is because there's the need for a mental paradigm shift, right? So just to bring everyone up to speed who doesn't know what a paradigm shift is, um, paradigm is, uh, it can be uh, defined in a lot of ways or described. It's this, it's that, it's the other. It's basically the point I'm going to point towards is the part of it I'm going to point towards is think of it as the overall way we do things, the overall way we approach things, the perspective from which we move in our lives as individuals, as families, as cultures, as communities, as societies, as a species. So that's kind of like the paradigm. It's the framework within which we operate. And when we talk about a paradigm shift, then we're talking about a completely new way of doing things, of seeing things, of behaving, of experiencing, of expression, just a whole new ball game, literally a whole new world. So the paradigm shift that is being spoken of now is about the need for humanness to completely and radically change absolutely everything we do because it's necessary for survival for all life on the planet. It's not just a fad, it's not just an interesting thing to do, it's not just a fanciful pastime or a dream or a inconsequential thing. It's a necessity. Life on the planet requires a paradigm shift. So mental paradigm shift is a paradigm shift in the way we think about things. So this all started with me saying I'm in my new place, I'm struggling to get my life together, and I've recently become aware that what's required is a mental paradigm shift. So that you can do a paradigm shift on any level. It can be mental, it can be emotional, it can be physical, it can be energetic, it can be intuitive, it can be spiritual, it can be endless, okay, infinity of possibilities of ways in which to shift, to change. That's the saving grace, is that there's a plenitude. There isn't just one way, and if you miss it, you're fucked for life. There's plenty of opportunities. So the mental paradigm shift that is required on the planet for all of us, I'm also experiencing it in my own life. And the specific part of the paradigm shift that I'm struggling with at the moment is making the transition from you got a problem, you buy a solution, to you got a problem, you make a solution. So that sounds like, but actually think about that one. You've got a problem. Instead of buying something that's going to solve your problem, you're going to make a solution. You're going to look around you and see what objects you've got around you, what material you've got around you, what possibilities you've got around you. And then from that, you're going to create a solution. You're going to sculpt a solution. And that is actually one of the required paradigm shifts now for us to survive on the planet, for life to be sustained on the planet. It's very, very clear. We cannot continue how we are being with the majority of people on the planet in difficult situations and a tiny, tiny, tiny minority sitting right at the top of the tree, creaming off the lifeblood of the planet, literally, and living on easy street. So, short of going out there and removing the top minute percentage who's like having everything at the expense of everybody else, short of doing that, we have to look at how we contribute and what we can do to enable the shift. So we can talk to those people and say, you're being dickheads, you're fucking it up for everyone. Can you just get a little bit of humanity, please, and start thinking about other ways you could play and enjoy life on the planet? And then we put that aside because that's not actually something we can definitively make happen, But what we can do is look at what we've got. So I've got a new home given to me by a housing association after 5.5 years of homelessness. I'm really, really happy I've got my home. It's fantastic. I've got concrete floors. I've got open windows still. I've got temporary solution. I've got a whole lot of things that still need to be resolved in order to make this a comfortable, warm, cozy, snug dwelling that I would feel comfortable inviting people into and saying, come round for a meal, there's a place to sit, other than put your ass on the concrete floor, mate. It's not very friendly. So, the archetypal way to deal with this is just go out and spend money. Just go out and spend money, spend lots of money. Go buy carpets, go buy curtains, go buy curtain rails, go buy curtain hooks, go buy curtain underlay, carpet underlay, go buy everything, go buy the whole thing. Just go and buy it. And that is the attitude that has brought us to where we are. That is the process that has created a problem on the planet, because in order for that to happen, somebody has to go and dig in the earth and explode parts of the earth, make enormous, gaping, great, huge holes in the earth in order to extract particular materials and elements from the earth with which to make other things. And, we've brought it now to a point where there are billions of things that you go and you buy, you use once and you throw them. You throw them in huge festering piles that stink and create a hazardous, polluting environment for the people living there. So that model is clearly not sustainable. We're already at 8 billion people. We can't do that. We can't, have a lifestyle in which we keep making things and keep just throwing them away and keep having this mental idea that whatever your problem is, you simply buy a solution. You go out there and buy a solution. And it's like, no, we have to change. And it's difficult. It's difficult to change. The change is not easy because it means that we have to go into our inner experience of our lives, and we have to be willing to look really deeply at what our experience is. And we have to acknowledge how we are actually operating. Okay, we're just being blissfully unconscious about the full cost of our lifestyles. We just function in the here now on want. I want, I go, I put money down, I buy, I use, I discard. Simple. Unconscious, completely unconscious. And it's like, no, come to consciousness. The amount of holes we've blown in the planet just so we can have throwaway stirring plastic sticks, so we can have billions and billions and billions of iterations of the throwaway plastic stick, and then billions and billions and billions of other things that are exactly the same. We can't keep doing that. But then we have to do the mental thing of, well, what do I do instead? And how do I make that shift? I mean, really. And it's like, the shift comes inside. That's where you go first. It's not something that happens outside. It's something that happens inside. The first thing you have to do is go, I'm being unconscious, I'm simply consuming. And then you need to go, well, if I don't do that to solve my life's problems, I need to eat, I need a place to live, I need to wear stuff, I need something to do. If my problem isn't solved by buying stuff, then how is it solved? Well, who's got the answer? Clearly not us advanced civilization people. Clearly not. We don't have the answer. Look at what our answer has done to the planet. So what we've got instead is access to the indigenous peoples of the planet, who live respectful lives on Earth, who use minimal resources purely to sustain life and enable a joyful existence, being fully present in the here now, without needing to explode massive holes in the planet, without needing to pollute the water sources, without needing to destroy the elements of the earth and alter it from one substance into another in a massive scale that puts the natural balance of the earth's functions completely out of whack and causes huge system malfunction on so many planetary levels that then produces massive hardship for everyone. It's like, they don't do that, we do that. What we can do is look at them. How do they live? And that's where the paradigm shift comes in. That's where the mental paradigm shift comes in. You go, okay, I can't just buy a solution. What do the original people do? They make a solution. They look around, they go, I need something to warm myself. They look at what they can use, they pluck grasses, they weave a soft, flexible garment, and they put it around themselves. When they're no longer cold, they take that garment off, they put it on the earth, and it is reabsorbed. And the cycle just continues seamlessly, without any difficulty, making no problem for anyone. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about undergoing the mental paradigm shift from, I can't just resolve my problems by buying shit. I have to solve my life problems by making my own solutions. Now that brings human experience down to the human scale, the individual human scale. What your individual problem is, you resolve as an individual for yourself. That's the way that life functions on this planet. If a wolf is hungry, it doesn't go out and kill like 40,000 caribou and leave their carcasses rotting and not even eat any bits. It doesn't do that. We do that. We take and break and discard and pollute and leave and waste. We waste enormous amounts, So I think in the end, what I'm trying to say is hang in there. It's hard, but we can do it. And the pathway through is here. The pathway is here, not out there. The pathway is here. Finding inside, what are we doing? What is our actual, are we even aware, or are we completely switched off and we are literally just knee-jerk reaction to whatever we feel we need in the moment and not even looking at how that impacts us, the people around us, our community, the planet? Hang in there. It gets easier. It helps if you understand some of the parameters. Some of the parameters include concepts like paradigm shift, okay? Where everything, completely everything changes. The foundation changes, the pillars that make up the experience changes, the experience itself changes, everything changes. And it's scary, but not if you kind of go, I only have to deal with this on a human level. I only have to deal with this on the human individual level. It's okay, because let's face it, as shit as it is for others on the planet. I must be very careful here. I'm not intending to diminish anybody's experience. What I'm trying to say is, where I am right now, there are no bombs falling. There is no war right here. Right here where I am, I can't actually impact bombs falling other than being really peaceful in me. I can feel it's gone off, and hang in there. You have to go inside. You have to be conscious about what you're doing. You have to recognize that what you're doing is destruction. You have to go, oh my God, I don't want to do destruction. I want to do life. You have to then realize that in everything, get your head around the fact everything has to change. Everything is part of the problem. Don't freak out. You can only cope with everything one bit at a time, on one human individual scale at a time. And there are times where spontaneously humans come together, and as a group they spontaneously undertake a movement that shifts things radically. And when that happens, if you're part of that particular thing right there, hallelujah, yay, yummy. But if you're not, there's no point feeling guilty about not being there. Don't waste your time and energy beating yourself up because you're not someone else having a different experience. Be where you are and work with what you've got. And what you've probably got is a load of denial and not seeing and unconsciousness. Simply come to awareness. Just look, really look. What am I doing? What am I actually doing? You know, oh, I'm partying, I'm having a good time. It's like, really? That's it? You know, it's like, I think there's more. I really do. Have a look. Have a look. You know. Paradigm shift. It's amazing to me how every time I want to tell everyone about a difficulty I'm having, I end up doing like what feels like a mini lecture series, and then going, oh shit, nobody wants me to like be bloody well telling them what they should be doing. But actually that's wrong. I've got this articulation, I've got this capacity to communicate, I've got this message because it needs hearing. So here we are, here's the next step for those whose pathway it is to connect with the vibration that I'm putting out. Here it is, okay? Have a look, go inside, become aware of what's going on. Do not beat yourself up, okay? You are where you are, and the only way you can change it is by moving forward one step at a time. That's it. You know, there's no point wasting time by beating yourself up. Look at what you're doing, see the unconsciousness, recognize that everything must change. Everything. Think about the actual word. Everything. What you do, what you eat, how you dress, where you go, how you travel, who you see, what you spend your day doing, how we live on the planet, what we consider a good day. Everything, everything, everything. Our transport, food, infrastructure, roads, fuel, everything, 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 everything. Law, education, politics, models of government, everything, everything has to change. Don't panic, we'll do it. One little bit at a time, on an individual human scale at a time. And it just starts with, where are you now? What are you doing? Is this respectful and honoring? If it's not, recognize the need for a paradigm shift and make one. Be willing to make a tiny little change on any of the multitude levels of possibility of being on the planet. Yeah. So I'm stuck with trying to make a solution for my cooker. Okay, this is where all of this started. Make a solution for your cooker. I've got a tiny little cooker and it needs to stand on something because it's much smaller than a normal size cooker. And paradigm shift, mental paradigm shift. Don't just go out and buy a stand, make one, and then realize that you don't know how to make things and you have to learn how to make things, and it's freaky because you're out of your comfort zone. Don't panic. It'll all come right in the wash. It'll all come out, providing we go, okay, we're in the shit. We have to do things differently. Take on board mental paradigm shift and be very, very, very well. Om Namaste.